Simply put, everyday carry is a collection of things that you carry with you every day. But it goes much deeper than that. I love everyday carry, but even more than that, I love the community around it. From the folks sharing their cool gear online to the small businesses that continue to make rad stuff and innovate. In this video, we're going to be covering what EDC is to different people, the most common EDC categories, tips for building your own EDC, and how to discover new gear and engage with the community. So, with that being said, let's dive right into it. So at the beginning of the video, I said that EDC is a collection of things that you carry with you every day, and that's not 100% true. As it stands now, EDC is a little bit more abstract than that. See, when someone dives into the EDC community, they oftentimes rotate between different types of gear, so by that definition, they technically don't have an EDC. I personally think that thinking that way is a little too restrictive. I think a better way of thinking about EDC is to think about it from category instead of the specific item. So for example, I carry a knife every day, but I might want to rotate between different ones. Does that make sense? And even then, there might be days where I just want to free up my pockets and not carry a knife at all. If you're new to the community, then I encourage you to carry what you want. As with any hobby, there will unfortunately be gatekeepers. Your EDC is unique to you, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. With that being said, with EDC, I feel like there's a spectrum of form and function. On one end, there are folks who are more utilitarian and care more about gear that gets the job done, and then on the other end, there are folks who are more enthusiasts and they care more about design and materials, etc., etc. Both of those preferences are completely valid, and I feel like when you start to delve into the community, you'll likely find yourself somewhere on that spectrum. To me, EDC is about community. To others, it might be about practicality. To some, it might be about preparedness. When you get into the community, you'll likely find your own reasons to carry. If you already love EDC in the community, let me know in the comments below why you like it. I'm super interested to hear your thoughts. If you're looking for inspiration to spice up your EDC, or maybe you're looking to get your start, here are some common EDC categories. Possibly the most popular category would be knives. You've also got flashlights, pens, wallets, keys, your phone, a watch, earbuds, and a pocket notebook. This is by no means an exhaustive list. If you're a paramedic, your EDC is going to be different than someone who's a journalist. This list is purely to give newcomers an idea of common EDC categories so they can get their start. So what are some tips for building your EDC? Let's say you're interested and you want to get more in the community. How can you get your start? I think the first way is to start being more mindful about the things that you already carry with you every day. Notice what you use and when you use it. This will help you assess your needs in the next step. So make sure that you don't buy anything yet. So use what you already have. Don't go out and buy anything just yet. Just be more mindful about the things that you use and use what you've got on hand, whether it's some old folder knife that you've got lying somewhere in a drawer, whether it's a, Bic pen or just some random flashlight. Just start where you are and use whatever you've got on hand. Next is to assess your needs. Notice what you find yourself doing a lot that would be made easier or more enjoyable by getting better tools. Some examples would be if you find yourself cutting boxes a lot, or if you find yourself writing documents or signing documents a lot. Another thing would be if you find yourself looking for things in the dark, or if you find yourself walking in the dark a lot. These are all needs that an EDC item can kind of help aid, if that makes sense. From here, I would create a list of priorities and invest in your most important needs first. Just remember that your budget is unique to you, but in general, a word of warning is buy cheap, buy twice. Don't feel like you have to spend all of this money on buying the highest quality gear, but if you have the means to do so, consider buying better quality things less often. Consider investing in things that are going to make your tasks more enjoyable. So I know that a lot of people think about the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that is totally valid. But I don't think it hurts to invest in things that are going to be more enjoyable to use, because if you can do anything to make those mundane tasks a little bit more interesting, a little bit more enjoyable, then why not, as long as you have the means to do so. So the reason why I say this is when you're buying a new product to add to your EDC, you really want to consider how it's going to feel to use every day. Just remember, like I said earlier, that your EDC is unique to you, and there is no right or wrong way to partake in the hobby. So the next tip or step or idea is to not buy everything at once. It's easy to get swept up in the hobby because you're looking on Instagram and you're looking on YouTube and you see these people with all of this super cool gear and you want to join in too. Buying too much can lead to buyer's remorse, and that's not going to leave a positive impression of EDC or the hobby in general. Ease yourself into EDC in the community because you may well find that after partaking in the hobby, it's just uninteresting to you, and that's totally okay. Just focus on one piece of gear at a time, and in time you're going to find that you have a really nice EDC kit. One of my favorite parts, and this is the next step or the next tip or whatever, is to get inspiration. I said earlier, but for me, a lot of EDC is community, and one of my favorite things about EDC is seeing what other people are carrying on them. You can do this by checking Instagram and searching up different EDC accounts or hashtags. There are a ton of different EDC groups on Facebook, so you can check out Best Damn EDC, that group by Taylor Martin. You can also check out Carryology Classified if you're more into bags and stuff like that. They also talk about EDC as well. There are a ton of different Facebook groups that will welcome you into the community. Another great place to check would be like EDC blogs and publications. Everydaycarry.com, Carryology, Word, Uncrate, High Consumption, Cool Material. Gear Moose is another one. There's so many different blogs and publications covering EDC that it's a great place to get inspiration. Another place to check would be YouTube as well, and that's probably one of my favorite ways to discover new gear. Some of my favorite channels are Best Damn EDC, or Taylor Martin's channel. You've got Accessorize Me. Chase Reeves covers a lot of bags and backpacks, and you've also got Jeremy Sires. All of these are super respectable creators, and they make awesome videos that I personally enjoy myself, and I can highly recommend you checking them out as well. And lastly, it's important to know where to look when you do want to start investing in your next piece of gear. So there are a few go-to websites that I use to check on pieces of gear that I might want to buy. One of them is going to be Urban EDC Supply. You can also check out Huckberry. They're a really great EDC website, and they also have a lot of like performance clothing and things like that. And if you're looking for knives, Blade HQ is a perfect place to start. They have a ton of different knives from a ton of different makers. But of course, that is not an exhaustive list. Feel free to look up Everyday Carry on Google and see where that takes you. That is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that this video gave you a holistic view on Everyday Carry and the community, and maybe gave you some tips on how to get started. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, then I would appreciate it if you gave it a like, and if you really loved it, then maybe consider subscribing. If you want to see more of me, then you can follow me on Instagram at MarioGhost. But that is all. I've been MarioGhost, and I'll haunt you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Here we go.